All right, welcome back, guys. Project Life Coach, week 12. Jonathan Liu here with
Chris Chan.
All right, so what are we talking about this week, Chris?
Last week, basically, we did the exercise of if I were gonna die today, or if I were to leave the planet Earth, what would I want to do today? So let's talk about how did we live our lives differently, based on thinking about this every day.
Okay,
Start.
sure, I'll start. Basically, mine came down to family. Every night, I pretty much wanted to spend time with my loved ones, my family, mainly my parents, because they're up in Washington right now, and my mom is, going through some health stuff, and I just kind of want to be there for her to support her through it. And that was really what I came up with. Each night, actually, I have my thing right here. Yeah, pretty much was talking to my parents, so I called them. On September 25th I wanted to have a glass of wine. That was one thing I wanted to do before I left this earth. But yeah, the 26th, 27th was spending time with my mom and seeing my mom because she's going through this and I just want to be there for her. And then on Sunday, I all of a sudden had this thing of I wanted to be healthy. I've worked out on and off, but I have a hard time sustaining it. So this time I was like, you know what, I want to get back on it. And I'm doing 2 different workout programs right now. I'm doing Sean T's Focus T25 and Mike Chang's, it's called, he does 6-pack shortcuts, but I'm doing his Insane Home Fat Loss program. They're both about, if you're doing both, it's probably about a 45 to an hour workout.
Okay.
Each time. Pretty awesome, and one thing that I never did before when I was working out is I'm actually going to start eating healthier, more lean meats and more veggies and fruits, and also smaller portions, more frequent.
So how do you feel if you were to die today or leave if this is your last day on Earth? Would you be content with what you've been doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, physically. Mentally, I'm also doing I'm doing these guided meditations with Bridget. The one command, I've done it before too, but I haven't really done it in a really that real deep state of theta. And she did a guided meditation with me yesterday, and it was about an hour long. I felt things just lift. I felt like a brand new person. Before I was really depressed and sad, and I don't know how I'm gonna make money, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then afterwards, I was willing to see kind of a new me.
Okay.
You know what, I can do this. I'm not sure how or what I'm gonna do, but I know that I can.
Okay.
So that's all I need to really focus in on. And also part of the health thing is I'm documenting it. So I'm writing a journal, not so much just on the physical part. Most people do, before and after pictures, which I'll do, and they talk about how they feel after the workout. I'm doing more of testing a mind-body connection.
Okay.
So one of the reasons was I wanted to see how my thoughts would change, because they say that you get endorphins.
Yeah, you'll be happier.
Yeah,
right?
you become happier. So I'm saying, okay, so let me see how I'm documenting how my thoughts and my thought process goes, and also the events in my life.
Okay.
So for example, I used to always have the thought of worried about money, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and just kind of all these negative, no good type of thoughts. Now, I'm, just after a couple of days of working out, I'm feeling the thoughts are not, the first day it was just not as frequent,
Okay.
not as heavy, I wouldn't snowball into a really, really negative state.
Okay.
And also this morning, kind of funny, is I've had real estate deals kind of can't fall out of escrow, and usually I get really upset and I'm like, oh, dang it, I gotta start over. Today I was like, you know what, fell out of place, no worries, move on to the next. And in fact, we're actually trying to save the deal right now, and it might actually work out.
Okay, yeah, let us know how it goes next
Sure.
week.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And my thoughts are just a lot more I'm a lot more calm.
Okay.
Peace of mind is the best word I can do. Just peace. I'm at peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I don't care what happens, what the end result is. I'm good now.
Cool.
So that was my week. How about you, man?
Yeah, my week was pretty good too. Really exciting week. Worked on a lot of my Etsy page. Went to Disneyland with a friend.
Cool.
So my annual pass was expiring, and then that's like that's why I went. Like, so it was almost like, oh, okay, it's coming to an end. What do you want to do on your last day before your annual pass expires?
Nice.
And that was pretty cool. I met Captain America, which was fun. You know,
Cool.
I like it when it's like, oh, no regrets. This is your last time at Disneyland. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
In addition, went to Hollywood for like a workshop. You know, and for an art workshop, that was kind of cool. And I think from that workshop, I was like, you know what? I need to work on my networking skills. And I did something that was really fun, that I really like to do. My watch is getting excited. Basically, I used to pick up girls, right? You know, I used to like, hey, I think you're cute. My name is Chris. What's your name? You know, and that was a hobby of mine. I would go out with friends and we'd have a great time. You know, you know, we'd have fun. Sometimes we meet a lot of girls. Sometimes we get rejected. We laugh about it. Everyone has fun,
right?
You know, and but of course, that's not a sustainable hobby because if you have a wife or girlfriend, it's like you can't do it anymore. At least I wouldn't feel good about doing it.
Right.
And what I did realize was like, hey, you know, like you could still meet people even if you're not trying to get their number or like make them your girlfriend.
Right.
So what I actually did was I went to the gym, you know, and like the nearby restaurants, and I started meeting people at the gym, you know, the guy at the front desk, someone who's about to start working out, and people who are having lunch. I met people who are alone, and 2 and 3 people together, or like a big group of 5 people, and it was really fun. You know, actually there's one experience that really stuck out was the first person I met, you know, I ran up to her from behind and I was like, hi, my name is Chris, nice to meet you. Her name was Marissa, right? And when I was about to leave the gym, like go to my car, I saw her again and I was like, hey, Marissa. You know, I called out to her like she was like a friend of mine, you know? And she was with 2 other guys and I ran over and I was like, hey, how's it going, guys? You know, I met 23 people today, you know? And I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, I met her 2 friends and it was almost like we were friends even though we just met like 30 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
And it was pretty cool. Not only when you meet people, you can meet their group of friends and everything like that. And I felt like I was living a wild life. It was really exciting and I felt really exuberant.
It's a lot of like getting out of that comfort zone, I think.
Yeah, comfort zone. I feel like I was living like no regrets, you know, like just do it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I want to live.
Yeah, I think that's good, you know, and imagine if you do that every single day, you know, imagine if you met 20 new people every single day. That means you meet 140 people in a week.
Yeah.
What is that in a month? That's almost 600 new people, dude. That's more friends you have on Facebook right now.
No, I have 1,000 on Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's half what you have on Facebook right now.
But no, actually, I do want to suggest, like, people who do it, I do suggest having a rest period. Kind of like when I go work out, I find it really important that I need to rest emotionally. Because when I was picking up girls, if I was just meeting girl after girl after girl after, I would get so emotionally drained. You know, and I'd feel depressed, and I was like, oh, what you need to do is you need to meet more girls. And like eventually I just, I'd get so depressed, you know. And you know, sometimes you meet a lot of people, I need to emotionally rest. Like you need to physically rest after you work out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, over the course of a year, as long as, you know, I take my breaks, I can meet so many people.
Absolutely.
You know, to be fun. And some people were like, oh wow, that's so cool. I'm not brave enough to do that. That's so cool that you're doing that. I wish I could do it. And maybe it might inspire them later on.
To do something else,
yeah. Like maybe they're like, oh honey, like this young man went up to me and introduced himself to me today, you know? It's like, wow, that's how interesting. Yeah.
Right on. Well, shit, that's great.
But yeah, you know, one more thing I did want to talk about is on Sunday, like sometimes things just fall into place for me. Like that night, I was supposed to go to North Hollywood, drive 20 minutes, and meet this guy to take a look at his like exhibit thing. But I didn't really want to do it. It was like a favor of a friend. You know, and in the end, he canceled on me because his girlfriend needed to go to the airport. So I was like, oh, thank God. You know, I was going to be late anyways.
Perfect.
And actually tonight, this was supposed to be like at night, you know? And I was like, dude, I have a flight tomorrow morning. Like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it at night. But you called me and you were like, hey, like, let's do it, you know, I'm free all day. And it's like, oh, great, we can do it in the afternoon. That's perfect for me. Because at night, I'll probably be like packing and like scrambling.
Oh, are you going to, because you're going to Orlando?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, shoot, cool.
I'm leaving my house at 5 a.m.
Sweet.
So I was like, wow, works out perfectly.
Yeah. Everything works out.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the prayer thing. What
Okay.
we're gonna do next week.
All right,
What is
so
that?
this is kind of interesting. My mom, I was talking to my mom earlier today, and she recommended, and she does this all the time. Like, well, not all the time, but from time to time, she'll always throw it in there. She'll be like, hey, why don't you pray? She's a very big Buddhist.
Okay.
And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, cool. And it's I'm not necessarily any particular religion. I'm not a Christian or Catholic, or if anything, I might be a Buddhist, but not formally.
Okay.
Okay, but I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not give it a try and do prayers? So I figured, hey, maybe this week we do prayers, and based on whatever you believe in, whether it's God or the Creator or Source or the universe, or if it's Buddha. And there's different there's different Buddhas. And if you're familiar with Buddhism, there's Guanyin Pusa, there's Omitofa, and there's just these different types of Buddhists. So I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Why don't I just practice that for 1 week and
what do we
see
do?
what happens? So basically, this is how it works. I mean, get into the state of what I like to call theta, or just a very meditative state.
Okay.
For those of you guys watching. Okay, and you just kind of connect, and then you just pray, and you just, it's just prayer is just like asking a question. Or requesting.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like a request, like, you can say God or Buddha, please. In my case right now, it's I'd really like you to help. I could use some support and help finding a job that's going to be offer steady income, and it's something that I enjoy doing, that is aligned with my values.
Okay.
Because one of the jobs I had last week, I had to leave because they told me to lie, and I just didn't sit well with me. But yeah, so it's just about getting into that meditative state and just saying, hey, please help me with whatever seems to be bothering you, with either any situation. It could be health situation, it could be with money, or with a relationship with somebody. Just say, I don't know, I don't know how this is going to work, but God, just please help me with this, or Buddha, please help me with this situation. And then it's just a thank you, like a very gracious. And don't come from the desperate. Here's the thing: the energy should not be desperate. Like, oh my God, like God, do this for me one time, and I just, I usually do this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be late. Please let me get the job.
Yeah. Like, don't try not to do it from a desperate energy.
Why not?
Because it's just the energy you're coming off of. It's. I'm not saying it wouldn't work. I'm just saying that kind of energy, in general. First of all, it's just not good to be in that kind of energy. And then two, when you're asking God for that, the universe is going to bring back whatever you give out. So if you're giving out that desperate energy, yeah, sure, maybe they'll give you what you're looking for, instant gratification, but maybe something else is going to come up even bigger. And the more desperate energy you give out, the more is going to come back to you.
Okay.
Kind of the law of attraction right there.
All right.
Okay, so yes, be in a very calm and gracious or grateful attitude or state, and just request, say, please help me with this situation, thank you, and allow yourself to receive it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the very basic, and that's why not. I mean, I've done it before, and my mom has like her own little Buddha room, and I used to go in there and I just pray and just say, hey, please help me with whatever I'm going through, and it's worked. It's actually worked a few times. But
the gratitude, you know how like when Christians pray, it's like thank you for the food, thank you for
saying
it's more
grace.
Like
yeah, it's more
different?
of a gratitude. Is it different? I think it's very similar. I don't think it's different, and I don't think it's the same, but it is just being about being grateful, and I think the big thing here is, and some of you guys may not agree with me on this, but I believe in a higher power. Like, I believe that the universe works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of knowing that, hey, look, the universe is working with you. God is working with you. And sometimes you just gotta ask, and you shall receive.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
So let's give it a shot.
High five. Bam. All right. See you guys next week.
Okay, see you next week.